Hey, Lakers fans. The energy is high, but there's no hiding the reality. This team is at a crossroads. The Los Angeles Lakers are hungry for contention, but right now, the path forward feels complicated. The stakes are high, and every game matters as the Western Conference landscape shifts constantly. The Lakers are on a two-game losing streak, and the next stretch could define their season. Coming up, they face Houston on Christmas Day, a matchup that always carries pressure, then Sacramento, which on paper should be an easier contest, and Detroit, a team that could surprise if the Lakers are not careful. The schedule is unforgiving, and if they stumble, losing 4 out of 5 games is a possibility, which would shake the confidence and standing of a team that was just recently in the mix for the 2nd or 3rd seed. At this moment, the Lakers sit tied with the Timberwolves for the 4th seed, but they're trailing the Spurs by nearly 3 games and the Nuggets by just over 1. Losing another 2 of the next 3 games could quickly drop them into 5th or 6th place. And while making the playoffs seems likely, the difference between being the 4th seed and lower in the rankings carries enormous weight when it comes to home court advantage and playoff matchups. Being a solid team does not automatically translate into championship contention. The Lakers are talented, no doubt, but they are not currently in the elite conversation among the top 5 to 7 teams in the league. Winning a championship requires more than being very good. It demands elite performance, consistency, and a roster that can match the top teams in every facet of the game. Right now, that is a challenge for Los Angeles. Watching the Lakers lose in the same way repeatedly is frustrating. There is a blueprint opponents exploit. Push the pace, force them into transition, hit perimeter shots, and dominate the 50-50 balls. The Lakers struggle to defend on the perimeter, lack the quickness to recover defensively, and are often outmatched athletically when competing for loose balls. It is a consistent pattern that has become glaringly obvious over recent games. Trades are not just an option, they are a necessity. But this is not about a full rebuild, which would involve stripping the roster down to the studs, moving LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and other core pieces. Instead, what the Lakers need is a strategic retooling. This means keeping the core intact while finding targeted additions that elevate the team. Ideally, the Lakers would acquire one top-tier player, someone who can create their own shot, defend at a high level, and shift the balance of games, paired with a second-tier player who can contribute meaningfully. Names like Andrew Wiggins, Herb Jones, or other high-level performers could provide that spark, while complementary players like Keon Ellis, Haywood Highsmith, or Matisse Thybulle could round out the rotation effectively. Even adding 2 high-quality players can create a ripple effect, improving rotations, bench scoring, and overall team balance. The domino effect of such moves is significant. Imagine bringing in a player like Andrew Wiggins. Suddenly he becomes the starting 3, pushing someone like Reeves to the bench. That adjustment improves bench scoring and overall depth. It can create 2 additional roster spots, which allows for more acquisitions, further reinforcing the roster. This is not just hypothetical. History shows that strategic additions of 2 or 3 players can completely reshape a team's trajectory. Look at Dallas when Luka Doncic led them to the NBA Finals. They entered the postseason as a 5th or 6th seed, but Daniel Gafford and B.J. Washington, not even considered top-tier players, were pivotal in changing the course of the playoffs. Similarly, the Lakers' trade for Russell Westbrook brought D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt, who were initially undervalued, and their contributions shifted the balance of the team despite a rough start to the season. Even a single high-impact addition can make a difference, but adding 2 or 3 carefully selected players can transform the Lakers into a team capable of contending at a higher level. The key is targeting players who solve specific problems. Someone like Wiggins provides scoring and defensive versatility, while a complementary player addresses secondary needs, whether that is perimeter defense, playmaking, or rebounding. A strategic trade can improve the starting lineup, bench, and overall depth, essentially upgrading 6 or 7 key players simultaneously. This approach does not require tearing down the roster. It requires careful calculation and a clear vision of the team's identity and goals. The Lakers are not lacking talent. They are lacking strategic reinforcement. while the core of LeBron James and Anthony Davis remains formidable. Adding the right pieces at the right time is critical. The window to make a push is now, and Rob Pelinka faces the challenge of navigating limited assets, high trade costs, and timing pressures. The aim is not just to make the playoffs, but to position the team to compete with the elite squads that dominate the Western Conference. This is a balancing act. Acquire enough talent to contend without overpaying or sacrificing the core. Even one or two transformative players can be the difference between a mid-tier playoff exit and a legitimate championship run. Timing is crucial. The sooner these trades happen, the sooner the Lakers can integrate new pieces, adjust rotations, and develop chemistry before facing the toughest stretches of the season. Fans understand the stakes and see the urgency. Losing the next few games could create a gap too large to comfortably bridge without meaningful reinforcements. Yet, optimism remains. The Lakers' foundation is strong, their leadership proven, and with calculated moves, the team can rise into contention. Every addition has a cascading effect, reshaping rotations, unlocking potential in existing players, and strengthening both offense and defense. The focus is clear. Identify the gaps, secure impactful players, and elevate the team to a level capable of challenging for a championship. Whether it is through one high-tier acquisition paired with secondary players or a multiplayer swing targeting specific needs, the Lakers have the opportunity to redefine their season. The objective is not simply participation. It is contention, and everything revolves around smart, timely, and strategic roster moves. Looking ahead, the Lakers season is essentially a test of how quickly they can adapt and improve. The current roster has talent, but the team struggles against more athletic squads expose clear weaknesses that cannot be ignored. Against fast-paced teams that push the transition game, the Lakers frequently get caught out of position. Their lack of lateral quickness and defensive versatility allows opponents to penetrate, kick out for threes, and capitalize on loose balls. This is not a flaw that can be ignored. Every playoff team needs the ability to adjust on the fly, and right now, the Lakers' limitations are glaring. Winning in the modern NBA requires balance. Offense, defense, depth, and the capacity to adapt in real time. Trade strategy is crucial. One high-impact player can shift the dynamics of a lineup, but the real leverage comes from complementary acquisitions. Consider the idea of bringing in a player like Herb Jones. He's defensively versatile, can guard multiple positions, and adds a competitive edge on both ends of the court. Pair him with a scorer who can create their own offense, like Andrew Wiggins, and suddenly rotations become more dynamic. Starters are optimized, bench scoring improves, and depth becomes a strategic advantage rather than a liability. These aren't just theoretical improvements. They reflect what championship teams have historically done to elevate themselves from very good to elite. The Lakers have the core talent to make this transformation, but the execution has to be precise. Beyond individual talent, chemistry and fit are critical. The Lakers' current rotation can sometimes feel disjointed, with players overlapping roles or struggling to complement each other on both ends of the floor. Adding one or two well-chosen pieces can dramatically shift that dynamic. For example, if a player like Wiggins is inserted at the starting three, it changes the spacing, defensive matchups, and responsibilities for everyone else. Reeve can focus on scoring bursts from the bench, while Davis and LeBron can orchestrate more effectively with the floor spaced correctly. Suddenly, the team's identity is clearer, and every player knows their role in both transition and half-court sets. A single trade can cascade into multiple benefits, improving rotations, maximizing efficiency, and addressing the consistent gaps that have cost the Lakers games recently. The Lakers' schedule amplifies the urgency. Facing high-caliber teams in consecutive matchups without addressing weaknesses could result in a slide down the standings. Losing streaks at this stage are not just numbers. They affect morale, confidence, and positioning in the playoff picture. Home court advantage in the first round can be decisive, and the difference between being the fourth seed versus sixth or seventh could determine the depth of the playoff run. While fans can trust the team to make the playoffs, the ultimate goal is to contend at the highest level, not just participate. Every roster decision now carries significant consequences for both the immediate season and the franchise's trajectory moving forward. It's also worth emphasizing the domino effect of strategic moves. One key player can redefine the lineup, open opportunities for bench rotation, and even affect the team's approach to in-game strategy. For instance, acquiring a high-level defender allows the Lakers to switch defensive schemes, contest threes more effectively, and reduce the number of second-chance points given away. This, in turn, frees up offensive options and allows players to specialize in their strengths. The net effect is an overall more competitive team, capable of contending with the elite squads in the West. The Lakers management must focus on trades that deliver this type of multifaceted impact, rather than simply accumulating talent without clear purpose. Another aspect to consider is the mental edge. The Lakers have elite leaders in LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but basketball is increasingly about depth and balance. When the team consistently falls behind early or struggles against specific matchups, confidence wavers. Bringing in players who can contribute immediately and alleviate pressure on stars has a psychological effect as well as a tactical one. It changes how opponents prepare, how rotations are managed, and even how the team approaches the final minutes of close games. The right trade can shift momentum on multiple fronts, not just through statistics, but also through the intangible factors that separate contenders from pretenders. Historically, teams that have succeeded in the playoffs often relied on strategic additions that went under the radar at the time. A player initially perceived as secondary can become a catalyst for wins when inserted into the right system. The Lakers have the opportunity to repeat this strategy. By adding 2 or 3 high-caliber or complementary players, the team can create matchups that challenge elite opponents, manage rotation fatigue, and optimize LeBron and Davis's impact. Even a seemingly minor adjustment, like slotting a scorer into the bench rotation or improving perimeter defense with a single trade, can ripple through the season in ways that dramatically improve playoff positioning and chances of contending for a championship. Timing remains the most pressing factor. The longer the Lakers wait to make decisive moves, the more games are lost, and the harder it becomes to establish cohesion before the playoffs. Each game carries weight, not just in the standings, but in evaluating which acquisitions are necessary and where adjustments are required. Every trade, every lineup change, every minute on the floor contributes to the overall picture. The Lakers cannot afford hesitation. They must act decisively, targeting players who solve specific needs and elevate both the starting lineup and bench rotation. The window to transform from a good team into a true contender is finite, and understanding the urgency is critical for both management and fans. Moreover, the Lakers' challenges highlight the broader truth of building a championship roster. Talent alone is not sufficient. Fit, versatility, and balance define elite teams. They must be able to defend against transition, switch effectively on defense, contest shots on the perimeter, and maintain offensive efficiency. Every trade and acquisition should reinforce these principles. The Lakers' front office is tasked with identifying talent that complements LeBron and Davis while addressing the team's consistent vulnerabilities. The right pieces can elevate not just the team's on-court performance, but also its strategic flexibility, allowing the Lakers to adjust in real time against the most formidable opponents in the league. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, in what could be the most shocking twist of the NBA offseason, rumors are swirling that Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning superstar of the Milwaukee Bucks, has reportedly given a tentative yes to a potential move that could shake the very foundations of the league. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Los Angeles Lakers, never shy about going all in on marquee talent, have ramped up their offer in a bid to lure the Greek freak to Hollywood. The NBA community is buzzing, with fans and analysts alike trying to decipher the implications of such a seismic shift. Giannis, known for his loyalty and his championship ambitions in Milwaukee, has long been a player whose decisions are scrutinized at every turn. Yet, Whispers from insiders indicate that the allure of teaming up with the Lakers' star-studded roster and the opportunity to compete for titles in a new environment might be tipping the scales. Los Angeles, always in pursuit of another championship era, is reportedly crafting an offer so compelling that even the most skeptical observers are now reconsidering the possibilities. The league's landscape could undergo a dramatic transformation if this deal comes to fruition. Not only would the Lakers instantly ascend into an elite contender status, but the ripple effects would be felt across conferences, trade strategies, and the futures of multiple franchises. Conversations about super teams, free agency maneuvers, and the balance of power in the NBA are now more intense than ever, as speculation mounts over how Milwaukee might respond to the potential loss of their cornerstone player. While nothing is confirmed, the mere suggestion of Giannis saying yes to Los Angeles has sent shockwaves through social media, sports talk shows, and locker rooms across the league. Fans are feverishly debating the likelihood, dissecting potential trade packages, and imagining what a Lakers lineup featuring Giannis alongside their current stars might look like on the court. As the rumor mill heats up, one thing is clear. The NBA is on the brink of a narrative that could redefine the next chapter of professional basketball. Everyone is watching, waiting, and wondering, will Giannis really make the leap to the City of Angels? And if so, how will the league ever be the same again? Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.